All right. Sorry about the little delay there. I replaced my hard drive over the weekend and lost a number of settings. I thought I had most of them done. I missed two of them. Uh, One, I had to redo my Twitch sync with OBS because I was missing my docs altogether. The other was my ability to stream to YouTube at the same time, so I had to redo all of that one too. So, yeah, I think everything else is working just fine. Uh, just saw I had all the chat stuff going again. So hi Tuna, and have my mic recalibrated and have everything else recalibrated. Just yeah, hadn't jumped to do the actual streaming yet because thought I had that mostly fixed. Apparently I did not. Anyway, today we'll be starting with Citizen Sleeper. I know nothing about it aside from it's a narrative-based game, cyberpunk themes, and it's supposed to be really good. I haven't played it. I've been meaning to, thus we'll discover together. Uh, as I mentioned, I replaced my hard drive. Uh, if there's any other issues, I ideally be able to fix them quickly, but as far as I know, everything should be working. I haven't gone anywhere in the game, but I do have it booted up and it is running right. And if you've noticed, I've uploaded new Balatro videos, so I've obviously been uploading some stuff since doing stuff. Uh, Amusingly, Tuna, Citizen Sleeper, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist both came out the same year and both fought each other for the best narrative indie game. Speaking of my mic calibration, I was testing out a bunch of stuff while recalibrating my mic. Long story short, well, I have bought a mic stand that should be showing up later today. It should allow me to have a little extra room around my keyboard, but also should allow me to have a little better sound. If I'm a little quiet, I can turn up the gain a bit more, and that should pick me up better, but ideally, I have the game and myself balanced all right. Citizen Sleeper is a little weird in that it doesn't have settings on the main menu. I had to peek just a little bit inside the game to try to find any sort of settings, but I actually had to force the window settings in the launch stuff. It's odd in this day and age that they don't have a settings on the main window, but that's fine. But I'm hoping with the mic stand, I'll be able to get the sound quality even better, the mic a little bit closer to me, so I'll be able to be even a little bit louder as I'm just talking and narrating stuff and improve the narration quality a little bit better. And the second thing I'm hoping is my AC is in the room with my computer. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to run the AC without it showing up. Um, and I will keep that in mind. I will try to enunciate better and not speak so fast on some stuff. Um, I will be honest, sometimes what happens is when I get into the long dialogue stuff, my mouth starts getting dry, and I am getting really desperate for a drink because my tongue starts getting stuck on my teeth and whatnot. It's something I need to work on pacing my drinks and figuring out all of that. I'm glad the mic sounds good though. I was quite annoyed at how the last two Balatro videos sounded, but I should have all of that set up properly too. I do not know why OBS wasn't recording my mic in a separate stream like it should have been. All the settings are fine, but now it's just recording it in 3 spots instead of 2, and the third one's showing up fine. Anyway, that's all I have before things start. So, I guess might as well just get into it. as we can see right around, Ray, Citizen Sleeper 2's already been announced. But we're not worried about that. We're just going to be playing the first one. The only settings at the beginning are the languages. But we will be starting a new game. I don't actually remember which one won, like, overall. There was a decent split between who loved which one, though I believe Citizen Sleeper got a little bit more of the limelight between the two. So it looks like the first thing we are doing is choosing between, looks like 3 character classes. The Machinist, who repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extractions. Sleepers assigned to Machinist works are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Looks like if we pick the Machinist, we're good at the engineer stuff, neutral at the middle stuff, and a little bit worse at approaching a problem head-on. The Operator, which is where they started us by default, works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. It looks like this one has bonuses to interface, which works with digital interfaces, makes sense with drones, and have -1 to endure, which uses strength or strength of will. And the final class is Extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high-level endurance. So, have increased strength of will for endure, and minus intuit, approach problems with awareness. So, I have no clue what any of these mean. So it really depends. Like, with Teenage Exocolonist, I kind of just leaned into how I am in real life to some idea. I was somewhat studious in real life and not a real outdoorsy type. But if I get the sense that it might be more fun to do something, I'll just go do something. Like, Stardew Valley, I went and played in the mines a lot and combat a lot. I tend to like magic systems, etc., but most RPGs, I end up being a mage or support class. A lot of times I just kind of pick based on whatever I feel might end up being interesting. The only information I have on this, though, is the trailer I played last time, which involves us potentially working on a ship and gaining resources and trying to survive. So, careful and diligent, whatnot. So, I mean, of all of these, arguably, my gut is just saying, like, drones sound fun. But I also missed the middle of this. Perk, Efficient Extractor. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Perk, Transfer Intercept. Chance to gain Cryo on interface actions. And perk, Photosynthetic Sin. Sunbathe dice action always allows energy recovery at home. But yeah, I don't have any strong thing to go with, so we can just go with Machinist. I've got no clue how much this choice actually matters. It feels important. We'll find out. Unknown, where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking. When yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it's like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think about that body? Forget that body. Why don't we just think about what we were? Leap into the cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from another. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dull nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard on your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that claustrophobia comes next. You retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, remember the others. It's probably a good idea to remember the plan. I don't know what we're doing, and other people probably don't matter. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. Once you got the itch to get out by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drive away in the chaos, slip into the cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, and then just hope the freighter lift before you were missed. Some were lost in the shafts, others were never found the meeting point. Only a few made it in the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock, even if, in the airless hold of the freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Wait for the cold, try to rest. Yeah, might as well sleep. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You're dully aware of the damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You've spent much of the time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to ignore. You feel the weight of that impossibility beginning to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind. And once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer, until in haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Alright, we have a ship of some sort. And I can look around. But this seems to be the only choice. Dragos. Pragmatic salvage. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of my blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness. Back to life, you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You're surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ship, some corroded beyond recognition. Others still caroling grassy wounds along their edges, where plasma arcs slice them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you thawed it yet? Almost. Stay silent. Might as well respond. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have been bred of perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus. Shrouded in a makeshift trek, his headset with glinting eyes marked the drone operator. On his shoulder, one of sporadically linked drones perches, its piercing eye looking at you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard a while ago, they didn't last long. He struggled to read his expression beneath the tech. He seems lost in memory for a moment. Perhaps he's just figuring it out, or what to do with you. Plan to survive? What happened to them? Stay silent. I'm going to try to do a few more voices. I make no promises on how many of them will be good or consistent, but we'll see. Let's try to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. Hi, Metal. I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself for a corporation. I suppose you know you can't go back. Your body, that's theirs now. You're just software. Rogue emulation, legally processing corporate property. Not along, you remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world, but as you do, you get now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You're no longer that person. You're an offshoot, a copy. Yeah, I don't know how much the choices matter, but I'm pretty sure this game has a bunch of different branching narratives just like Teenage does. I get like 4 to 5 hours of sleep most days. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. Ensenat wants to protect their property, but they can't keep a hold of you. Well, then no one can. Remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Plan, adolescence, build independence on what regular misuse supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your Emily mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dracos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his way. Look, I got things to be getting on with. Trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage on stacks. I haven't been pulling in as much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion? Fatigue? You shakingly get to your feet. Alright, you head up there. You look like you need some rest. With that, Dragos stalks back to the Rex, his drone's already converging on a resting hull. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spinning figure as he returns to work. Introduction. Welcome to Erlen's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to the characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head over to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Select locations by clicking on their icon. You wait curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are in this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape, getting answers, building a life. Well, it sounds like we ran away from a rough life, and everyone we know might be dead, so our focus probably should just be on building a new life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. Before you can build anything, you need to learn to survive. Maybe if you do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. Mylar blanket, bedroll you slept on, canister of water, a makeshift electronic stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the powder stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them in the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images. It's long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can. Try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Tutorial: Condition, Action Dice, and Energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle. It can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You will have to figure out how to recover your condition, now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action Dice. At the start of each cycle, you will roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. Worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any fewer actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you must have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy bar depletes by 2 segments each cycle. When it becomes empty, you will be starving. When you're starving, energy loss becomes a condition loss. And your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. Alright, so our condition is currently about 66%. We have 4 energy dice, and we're at 2/5 for energy. And it does seem like we can choose violence or deal with violence. I do believe this game is going to be a little bit rougher. Cyberpunk settings tend to be corporations have beat us down and we're dealing with rough lives where basically corporations and police control everything and the people on the bottom are not living great lives. So we will probably be dealing with a lot of roughities to survive, or potentially even joining corporations and police to get along, which might mean that we deal with people that are trying to steal stuff. Looks like we got nothing to do here, so we leave. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. Still wearing his headset, in the harsh light of the corridor you realize is implanted. The drone sits on his shoulder as Cash sensor eyes is red. How you feeling? Okay, not good. I think we're feeling okay based on our numbers up there. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that between the operator's rig, the skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. So I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Work? Sure. Probably how we get more food and stuff, so it'll work. Alright then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them, make it off the shipyards, bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of that comes in as scrap. Hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. Now, obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? Got it. These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-rolled cryo. Isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back in his pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. Sleepers, well... He trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why? Happy to. Let's just ask why. Things are a little tight, that's all. Got a little cryo to Kylie here or there. Thinking of something else to add. He pauses looking at something outside. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling pressure. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly, then turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. So we can go to the yard, or empty container, or low-end gate. Don't know what the gate is, but we could just get to work. Oh, let's peek at the gate. After some spirit spacers cause some trouble in low end, Yatagon has imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. Okay. So it's a place that we can eventually get to if we get $60. We have 0. Tutorial. Actions. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice slot. Repeatable action. Hull dissection. Even though the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials, extracting them means carefully cutting and skillfully. So, input dice there. And actions will record you with clock, progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Negative, the action fails. The action die affects the outcomes as follow. Yellow, happy ones. The 6 has 100% chance positive. That one has 50% chance positive, 50% neutral. The yellow half and halves, 25% chance positive, 50% chance neutral, 25% negative. And then the bottom tier ones are 50% chance neutral, 50% chance negative. Another repeatable action is manual salvage. It's going to take some time to shortly cut your way through the towers of salvage. You're no stranger to hard labor. Second page. Type is either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Risk, either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcomes means condition loss. Can also mean cryo or energy loss. Skill. Skill means this action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. And modifier. Either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when slotted and improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. So it looks like we've got 2 choices, but we have engineer +1, so risky is a little risky. We can give that a try. As it goes up to a 5, it's a 50% chance of a positive and 50% chance of neutral, so it doesn't feel all that risky at all. Tutorial. Clocks. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good, bad, or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Drago's jet, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. So looks like we have the one based on our cycles and one that is just, after so many actions, we get a lucky one. This is positive, neutral, or negative. Over here, also positive, neutral, or negative. We'll just roll big. We're good at this. Worst case, we get some negative conditions. Tutorial, drives and navigation, 1 of 2. Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. Survive, find a doctor. That doesn't sound good. You're now free to explore Erlen's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or W and S to scroll along the station. Rotate A and D. Good luck! Oh, we didn't get hurt. We can worry about the doctor when we get hurt. I'm not sure about controller support. Well, I play a lot of games with controllers. Narrative games, I tend to just play with mouse and keyboard, because I know a lot of it's just going to be dialogue selections and menu stuff, and I prefer just doing menus with mouse. Let's go find a doctor first. You need access to corporate pharmaceuticals, otherwise this escape camp will come to a rapid end. So save 1 die in case we need to go talk to a doctor. Go talk here. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Hellion system are rare, but those who do always return eventually. It takes several cycles to reach the Starward Belt and return, loaded with scrap from the old wrecks. So here we could steal dock plans, which seems like a really bad idea in general. Or explore the Rotunda, which leads to a lot of different docking bays. Looks like we have lots more places to explore. Asking for directions is dangerous for us. We are not good at engaging with people. We could also explore the market. We're looking for a doctor. Is there anywhere else to talk to people? This one we haven't. We can also assist a shipbuilder here, or haul materials. So we need to go searching for a doctor. What feels good for that? Is the doctor going to be here or at the market? I'm also looking for drugs for our body, so why don't we try exploring the market? We have some money. We lost some energy. Lost in the crowd, you struggle to keep a sense of direction. Sit in an alley, exhausted, with no idea where to go. We are out of action die, so we need to go back to our little container and sleep up. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across color's void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of disturbed nodes that connect you. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture and smooth black liquid. Observe it, touch it. I forget, were we the calm, careful type or the more mess with stuff type? I don't think I can check that. I think we were the more calm, careful type. So we will just observe it. Oh. Just saw your message. Okay, we'll mess with stuff from here on out. I will keep that in mind. Even though you have no eyes, no sight, you feel the map of the station. No, not the map of the station, but the map of its connections. It's a looped cloud with spokes and spires that just jut out of space. It's an ingrown thing full of obsolete loops and severed pathways. It is a system, a map and territory all at once. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you insistently, as if it was a small child. Somehow it is pushing in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connected nodes, waiting to be explored, and then it's gone. We are starving. We only get 3 dice because of that. Try this once. Just the shipbuilder. So we try to get 60 here. We got a yard hand, whatever that means. It's like one place we haven't gone is here. It is possible the doctor's back there. But the market also potentially has food for us. So we will try to find food in the market. Manage to follow the flow of the people and you start to appreciate and enjoy the chaotic layout of the markets. We need 3 local knowledge. I need the positive outcome. Alright, we're just gonna go be starving. This might be a short run. Active scenes are left. Oh, doctor's here. This got added. Next comes a call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue. Trying not to bring attention to yourself. You are thankful for the tip-off that the doctor is operating out of this place. Now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer at the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hot block, Y'all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle toward the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. You look inside. You lean against the door frame and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by green indicators of stacks of steel containers. You lean in and see an amber light flickering through a far doorway screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which the blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you away. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, the figure pushes the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshio. The enforcer jerks his head and lets you slip by, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. Floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of bright market sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment, you're transfixed by the motion. Come sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see the silhouetted figure turn away, replacing the plastic sheeting of the frame with a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. Hey, I didn't pick the absolute worst voice for this character. Figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit! They gesture to the bed and then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. The tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask. The scanner still to their eye. A few cycles, don't answer. Fine with answering questions? They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying, they say without ceremony, without drama, but without any empathy. SNR does not like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case escaping. They built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one of which, SNR, remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes. No. How do you know this? Yes, that does sound familiar. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your arm or your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says. You are unsure if they mean the cold touch or of the metal or everything else. Simulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNUP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to you. May be able to help. They sigh, and you see darkness under their eyes. You hear fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshio outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They're influential in low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers. They tend to have their implants sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from the Starwark Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they have sourced the stabilizer, maybe you can have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why, help me? Thank you. Sabine walks away to the window, their face draped by the shadows of pressing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine's still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through these panels of the roof. You see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Yep, some sort of it. Let's see. I need food and whatnot. Guessing can't do anything here. Yep. Now we go sleep while starving. Nope, there are still more active scenes apparently. Oh. Street food vendor. I guess we might not be starving. Memphis is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok. His other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red flicker dressing. The smell is incredible. Watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with a bright salad and depositing in plastic trays. A stack of chips rattles his apron pocket as customers file past the burners, handing over payment. During the queue, it's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, backsuits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, lattice, scars, and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives. Their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn. You shuffle to the front. Memphis speaks with a deep, even tone without looking up. First try, it's free. Make him wait. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes for your eyes watering. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you sleepers. Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. You even tell him about his journey over the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also a sense of possibility in the sun's arrival. You tell him of the cold, of the dark container, the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like a dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him the eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk or where to look or what to do. Eventually you tail off, running out of words. Places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hands. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand and gets a button on the burner's side and shuts it off. The roar of the flame, its oppressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns and circular stars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Hey! Not starving anymore. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. sparkles with glittering lights like stars reflected in the winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, catches of shimmering light beneath your transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of threads across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information and communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Focus on the threads, focus on the nodes. Threads are more like wires, and nodes are like the connecting points, which makes more sense. Why don't we go with the nodes, I guess? The nodes are glassy, bright, but in this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle? Dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange, but before you can glimpse any further, the glass cuts and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one lead to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape, exchange and see an opportunity. But then, that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. 2. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it. This time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Hunted! Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. Yeah, I misread that. Tasting makes it very different, but testing makes more sense. Tutorial of the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access Data Cloud of the Eye, network of decaying protocols and data caches. While you are there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the I button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. So many things to look at. First things first. Where'd the market go? There it is. Let's see if we can't just finish off this area and unlock the market proper. Does it actually need 4? Yes, it needs 4. No. We have a scrap component. We can sell that. Ord Exchange is always hungry for new hardware to buy up, break down, and sell off. You're happy to supply it. So, That unlocked the ability to sell that scrap. Which, given we need to eat... that costs 15. Seems like a good thing to have unlocked. Emphasis spice fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Well, we have enough money to eat for a little bit, so we can experiment with the new mechanic. Do not know what half-inch ciphers are, so that one's not of much use to us. Data actions. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right action. So we need a 2 for this one. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you'll be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. We do not have any pluses, and we do not have a 2. So can't do that one, but maybe we can do some of the other ones. Lone connection feeds into the isolated node. Last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Seems like a good use for our 1. Bypass. Extract data. Now we have an encrypted key, a stream of passcodes able to unlock the station's aging mechanisms. So that's gone. Just need a specific type of key? Yes. Can we use this somewhere? That needs a 2. Needs a specific cipher. That needs a 3. That needs a 2. This needs another 1. And this needs a 1. Oh, we got something from that. Let's go back to this one. Have the +1, so we can try to get a positive thing and see what happens when we get a positive outcome from here. You have connections, but you do have, or you don't have connections, but you do have skills. Get the shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. So we got the 1 yard hand the last time. If we get this built up, we probably get bonuses here. Neutral again. Like, this won't get us base stuff, but it seems more useful than trying to build this up right now. Though we could just keep building this up to get money. I think that's all the active stuff from this cycle, so we will go back to bed. Oh. Okay, there is an autosave system going on. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up. I have no context for who's saying this. Thing is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? Walk away. He grins. You do now. Puts his hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. Staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It'd be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Annan said? Eye opens for us all? Nice idea. But, well, not always very practical. Glances back at you. We'll do our best, but it isn't easy. We? Marilyn? Cast together in the main walkway. No one has told you about Aaron? He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears its name. Evan should organize some seminars. He laughs. Not really my department, though. I'm with the systems. Evan's? Systems? Think of us as an administrative association for the eye. Depending who you talk to, we either merge as a response to, or a continuation of. Andrew Erlin's original union, he smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity and, well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice to give you a dark look. And truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on his back, his voice bright, his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks down the passage, raising his hand farewell. It's still building. We need to continue eating, so... Yep, getting recruited for work. We're making all the friends. Let's start with this. Business and some money. There were some twos in this mess, wasn't there? Let's use up these twos here. The data here is part of a cache, tucked away during the collapse. Who hid this and for what purpose? Ah, we did something! As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread, strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste? The voice makes you shiver. Is the source somehow both distant and close behind your ear? You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark. Like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Resist. Stay still. Let's just stay still. We'll be curious and let it kind of compose. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it's a ring, cylinder. A tunnel of light circled around you. It's blinding for a moment, and then it's gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? What did you do? Let's just focus on what it's doing. The shape paces around you on its leaf legs, enough though there are no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you unexpectedly. Sleeper SNR. I don't understand. Stay silent. Let's just try. I don't understand. Sentience questionable. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. of and not of attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head, thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop or run? Let's just go with stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? No? I am a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, your hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? I don't understand. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends its razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike! You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference, leaping out like the tip of a spear. Continue. Hunter stumbles, shifts, and separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Yep, I don't know what's going on, but we're being attacked by something. We'll continue messing with this. Can't go too wrong, right? Worst case, we just get destroyed mentally by some hunter thing. So we have Heaven Age data. Is that the one that was needed up here? No, we need the Heaven Age cipher. Yeah, this is potentially the end of the game, I'm guessing, if we reach that. I think we have a lot of stuff going on this one. So I think the stabilizer will be ready this time. And this ship is also here. This is also here. Let's peek at this first. So it looks like with this ship we can do something dangerous, or buy some scrap, or some other stuff. But first things first, our condition's getting down there. So we will go buy some stabilizer, maybe. Hopefully we have enough money. First thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshira's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark corridor. He nods as you arrive at Sabine's door. Entering is so dark as you push through the engineering, or the sheeting into surgery. I have it! Sabine stands, the case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated from them, so they pick one up, rotating it in warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks like authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I don't care. I'm the test case. I think we're going to be at the point where I don't care. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to immunosuppressant in the transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified in your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system.
Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with a new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs.
Passcodes, which means
The stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system.
They glance away.
At least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial.
They begin readying the syringe.
I will start with a small dose to limit the risk.
Okay, let's do it. How sure are you? I don't have a choice. Okay, let's do it. Don't have a choice, but whatever. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from sight, fizzling, trembling with a wave that disperses through your heart with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and then it returns. Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises, like an argument you heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you back by the glow of their sight.
Awake?
Yes, what happened?
The stabilizer is genuine.
They sit down in the bed.
I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case for this stuff, but they did.
Sabine looks troubled, distracted.
You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else.
They gesture to the door.
I have other patients. Sorry.
Sabine nods towards the case.
I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to have to need to pay for your next dose.
Silence fills the room as they return to their glowing state. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or been shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine.
Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that.
You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Sheriff stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Ooh, our condition is stable. They are 100. So we gotta work a lot more. Sleeper. Ben catches your attention as you approach the Heaven Edge building, leaning against the bay door, side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come this way. Security and all that. He gives you a look. You know? He slams a button. The bay creeps open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fangford inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as you close behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostics, slates, and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans down to service at and gestures around. You like it? Yes, it's incredible. It's all this. It seems pretty incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby service tech, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. I don't know how to pronounce that character, or don't remember. A1. One of the Solheim built. We've had to invent new components to repair things that were never built. Reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. This place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We're keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, bringing it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to your face among the flickering machines, humming all around you. Now you can see this too, Sleeper. These systems and sections, you can, can't you?
believe we can see it. Makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. Glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker. To realign, follow your gaze. Buck notices too. I'm guessing you being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They are tracking me? No, it isn't. Let's just openly say they're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice to the hum. Even those inhabitants, those are old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those old days. You help me dredge up the past and I'll see what I can do about the tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? Sure. The hunter thing seems like a scary thing to track me down. Bang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets you eye to eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Bang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift! It's the Soul Hymn cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that in an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front bay. Stop at bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours to see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling. Have granted me acquisitions bucket. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet, keep it clean, Sleeper. I'll see you soon. You step blinking back at the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Ah, so that's what we do with some of this stuff. So we have a Solheim cipher. Which one of these was Solheim? This one. Gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since the Solheim collapse. Gate S7 access. Minus things. Network storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system purge. We've got a 4. Solheim data. And we do not have a 1. We do have a 3. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure, broken long ago by hackers. Bang only wants Solheim data. Some scoping the systems. Bang's eyes lit up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a sack of chits and winds you off. And we need to continue working on this because we need more money. We're in good condition for now. To make sure that we can buy food and stabilizer so we can keep living. Ooh, we got a 6 this time. First things first, we need to eat. Let me drop this 6 over here. No, it won't go up, so... Let me drop the 6 over here and see what happens.
dangerous one. Help with this. Still guessing that building this up will help in the long run. So as a newcomer, you can only gain favor by doing stuff. This gave us 2 shipyard and hand. You do well, and when their shift is up, a couple hands invite you to share a ration pack with some of their well-worn advice. So we're halfway there. This will be safe this way. Positive, so 2 more. So, Shadow Shipbuilder, who's impressed with what you know how to do double sail and plate, he slipped you a tip at the end of the shift. So, if we can succeed 2 more, we'll unlock whatever this is. I think that seems like a decent plan. Just 1 more, but this is not great. Risky. I think there was more eyes that wanted 1s. Why don't we just bypass more of this stuff? Seems like good uses for 1s. Don't think this is one of them. Oh, it was. Notice leaking corrupted contractor list in the early days system. Calderon, you rush. And you will buy more of that data. 3 of them, something will happen to this. There, very quick day. We're in good shape all around. We're close to unlocking whatever the shipyard's potential is. Oh, another 6. We'll save that though, and just finish unlocking the shipyard's potential. As we don't roll bad here, we'll get it. Neutral. Exit out. So we're gonna unlock some new stuff here. We have unit assembly and Lem and Mina, the worker and daughter. Glance at unit assembly first. Cerritos Horizon is webbed with complex systems bundled like nerves in your body. Your job is to lay these systems in. Or, Cerritos Horizon is assembled block by block. You're in your place in the team, welding those blocks together. This is safe. Give this 1 quick try here. Negative outcome, still got 12. Have a negative on quality control because of it though. Do this, ideally that would go positive. Welder's mate. Oh. Sounds like if we just get this filled up, we'll be dropped. So, this is how you work. A single bad weld completes the ship's collapse. Try to focus, fighting distractions. Seems like a good way to make money. Have 100 now. Alright. I really am not going to be able to track all these characters. Try, but... From the walkway to the side rail, Horizon looks impossibly vast. A landscape of planting and frames. Along with flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, archlights glint, and sense of scale and industry. It's both stunning and strangely unsettling. It's just quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the hallway leaning the rail. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting, loose, towards the side rail. Horizon flicker his eyes as he turns to you. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing behind him, staring out at the ship. This is Mina. He adds with a smile. Hi, Lem. Hi, Mina. Let's just say hi, Mina. He stares and tucks herself behind Lem. He dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. He does look decently young. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the material. You working on her then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to his ship. I'm just admiring. He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Working, admiring, neither. Let's go working, I think. Me too, me too. He flashes a heaven-ish pass. I knew it, just look at you. I mean... He stumbles a little over his words, not wanting to be misunderstood. I mean, you look like a worker. She's... Mina's my ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. How? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a heaven-ish contract on the Sidereal Horizon will be entered in draw for the transit support group. He smiles. We won't be able to sleep the journey, though. But a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means a landfall on a new world. He winks. Transit support? Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. It's a colony ship, friend. Seal's Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll totally be independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. It's almost starting to feel like a prequel to Teenage Ex-Colonist. Why is it here? Celia's Foundation? Sounds crazy. They're heaven-space colonists, yeah? Some of the wealthy projects and core systems. Interested in independence and self-sufficiency, all that. They hired the whole shipper out. Helped Red Kit and everything. He strokes Mina's hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose. But it doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his heavy hand away. Daddy? She whispers. Food! Smiling exaggerated gumper face. She glances furtively as she plays a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. Just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you and he suddenly notices how tired he looks. I'm not on the Heaven's crew yet. I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. For sure. He looks at the sidereal horizon as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hall. You gotta hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. He stares at Mina. While he stares out, Mina catches your eyes curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and tries. Danny loves me, she says, stubbornly daring you to question her. Lem smiles and looks at Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his like, gotta feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the wallway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shot echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the Sidereal Horizon and take it out. Eventually need more stabilizer, but we do not currently need that. And also eventually spend money to go into this area, which we have no clue what's back there, or if it's even worth it. Is that the rotunda? Just keep working this job. It seems like it's good pay. The team you work with operates with speed and care. As you work, you feel your thoughts fade and rhythm take over. Don't want a 1 in there. Do you have any more data points to look at? Guessing we got most of the ones taken care of now.
do a safe one with a 50-50 negative. Neutral, back in business and the money. Salvaging is brutal work. You take no small sense of satisfaction from the order piles. Clear your yard, leave behind. Reading up on some money, and we can just sleep. Rolled fairly well this time. First things first, we need to eat. And we're going to become a fungus fan. Sleeper! Evis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms in his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle on the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. Spice is rich in your nostrils. You think about what kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Ephas, the listener, and imagine he's heard it all before. Perhaps he'd enjoy a strange story. Something with some spice. Tell a ghost story? That's not really one of ours. We'll just tell him about our dreams. Why not? All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream out or cry in the night. Your dreams, those gray skeletal after images of the systems and structures of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one, like smoke through air. You tell them that you do not know if there's a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Ephesus finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Leaper, he smiles. You're quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been in your story. Ephes passes you on the meal he has cooked. You take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around the empty market. But my time is done for day, and I do not want to keep you any longer, so I make you a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind him. These are good enough for most, but some told me a story that made me think a couple cycles ago. It said across the gap, in the greenway, fresh mushroom grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will await you to bring them. Emphas slides his walkway and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market. The rich taste of Emphas food still lingers in your mouth. Stories for food, you think? A trade that seems more than fair. Able to choose that from here. Emphas wants to make this old recipe. Need 3 handfuls of grilled caps, fresh and firm. This is about to be called in. Guess we will just keep getting money. This will be 100% positive twice over. Wheel team you work with operates with speed and care. As you work, you feel your thoughts fade and rhythm take over again. Wheel team still operates with speed and care. This should be solid enough and finish off Wielder's Mate, whatever that does. Random scrap items. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers. You are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with your supervisor, where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. Keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, sleeper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and as you turn to see him pushing through, Mina is crying in his arms. Sure, we'll interact with this. Good to see you, friend. He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team, good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair. As he does, shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her. And her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both her cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Waiting on a shift. Is Mina okay? Let's just focus on Mina. She's good. We just had to rush up here. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know what... A noise sounds from the entrance. Klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry point. Lems drops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number! Shit, Mina! He starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around. I think we're done for the day, so we can watch Mina. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you. I'll... He crushes to Mina. You're gonna stay with our friend here, okay? They're gonna keep you safe and... He stands up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it in your hand. She's got food, she's got... Shit! I gotta go. Yep. He needs all the help he can get. Let's just hope that our work's not dangerous and he dies on the job and we suddenly have a child to take care of as well. Yes, I am. Yep, Salia. We may have adopted a child. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the rolling crowd. We're now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands staring suddenly without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hey, Mina. She holds the stare, unmoving. The two parallel shirt tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay? Stay silent. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning. And tucked inside the bag is a ragged rabbit hand sewn. We're gonna take the rabbit as Mina's holding a rabbit in the picture, so I think the rabbit's her comfort item. He pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling at you. Mina goes to jump, grab it, and pulls herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. Let's just ask, what's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Just give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out. Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you, and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arms a couple of times. Are you really a robot? I am. Not really. Sort of. I think the answer is sort of? Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. Before long, we were talking about rabbits and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eyes heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He's dirty and tired. Mina leaps up his leg and his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. We managed more than okay. We'll just go with more okay. Sound like we had a good day. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone. Well, 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 looks like Meanie can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, wide smile. I owe you one. Or owe you. Look, he glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I really appreciate you coming down to our place at the low end. He grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat. He plays at biting Mina. She giggles in response. See you, sleeper. He waves and they stumble down the corridor. John gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. They are in here, so I'm going to have to spend money in here in order to be able to get to them. Finally know what's in here, at least to some degree. We apparently can get upgrade points somehow. Also, we can apparently use scrap components to repair condition. Alright, so we need money for food, we need money for that, then we might be able to use scrap components to repair condition. Dragos is going to have a debt called in soon. Don't know how much that is. Need money to go play with the gate. We've been promoted to the hull. Which is dangerous, but this seems like a good die for that. So we will waste this here and see if we earn more than 12. 15 and are working on this. And we got a 1. Which I think could just go worst case, it failed. Negative outcome, we just get 5 money. But we will have more stuff going on now. End the cycle and go on. Alright, so we got the Dragos thing. We've got this freighter over here. Is this one much different? Alright. Buy ship mine fragments from this one. I think are used here. No. So many different currencies. Well, why don't we just start here? As you cut into a hull plate, you hear raised voices at the entrance of the yard. Usually the torch drowns out the background noise, but as the metal squeals and gives away, you hear the rumble of growing anger. You notice Dragos was unsettled this cycle, scratching his inputs as he let you into the yard, barely saying a word. Suddenly, something clangs against the yard's outer wall. You shut off the torch. What's happening out there? Mentioned before, we will be all looking into stuff, so investigate. As you approach the yard entrance, shielded by the small metal office, you see Dragos in rapid conversation with someone just outside. You can't see them clearly without stepping into the doorway beside Dragos. I believe step out is stepping into. So step out. You step out into the cold light of the doorway, standing beside Dragos. The conversation halts. The man stands opposite, heavy sections of Salvador's worn and modified back suit covering parts of his body. He sneers at you through a thick beard. You one of the old man's assistants? Hope he hasn't promised you'll pay. And Dragos. So he's been paying you then? The Salvador turns to Dragos. So why not us? He grabs Dragos by the shirt. Time's up, old man. You have 6 cycles to make the payment or we take this place. He turns back to you. Find a new job, Hunt. This one don't pay no more. Salvador starts back to the corridor, calling back his husband. I'll be hanging around, so don't try to sneak away. Turn to Dragos, who's glancing around the yard, handshaking. Are you okay? Why'd you have to go stick your neck out? Dragos asks. Can't you see this was private? He rubs his head. Look, just get back to work. We'll talk later. He walks into his office, closing the door behind him. You return to the stack of hull plates, thumbing the torch back on the cutting away. You try not to think the way that Salvador looked at you, his eyes fixed on you with both disgust and fear. For a while now, you focus on what is white-hot cutting point flames as it dips through the metal plate, the paint and laminate blistering and burning away as it does. Dragos comes to you a little later, when most of the plates were neatly sliced, ready to be taken to the dealers at the bright market. He looks at the pile of plates with his black, glassy eyes. That was an old colleague, he says. He's one of the ones that set me up here at this yard. Looks around the yard and suddenly wondered, is this home or his prison? We set up a while back. They lend me the funds, I buy the hulls, I slice them, move them on back, they take a cut. But lately the cuts are higher and the cuts bigger. They're choking me out. Grego sits heavily on the hull plates. I need your help. If I don't make a payment in 6 cycles, they're going to take this place. This is all I have. You look around the yard, most valuable hulls now cleared, the rusty scrap out against the walls. We'll pay, we'll push back, we'll figure it out. Let's go with we'll figure it out. You aren't sure Dragos has heard you, and you both sit in silence for a minute. He gets up slowly from the plates, a tremor in his hand. He nods, then wanders back towards the office, half-broken drone trailing his wake. It's time you left too. Not much is the payment? Can I see? Looks like it's going to be 90. Alright. So, 90 there, 100 for curing cell, 60 for getting back, and need food. So, I assume this is a permanent unlock, so let's just start with this. More to pay for back there. So, spoke. A tangled network of service packages, makeshift tunnels cut through the spokes, hive. There's no maps here. Or various elevators, stairways. The spoke can be navigated from the outside. The climb requires bravery. Also, mess with block maintenance maintained by the residents. Shadowed blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. Just to make some friends. And if we help out, we'll access the low-end facilities. And the clack of filter claps can be heard in every concourse at the low end as the residents play through rotating rounds of this game for Cryo. So it seems like we might be able to gamble as well. But for now, we have this friend. Which, if we help here, that's how Lem can get his ticket out. Which we're bad at engage. That's fine. It seems like it was a safe activity regardless. See what happens with the block maintenance first. Join a group of residents trying to repair the tangled innards of an elevator and manage to spot the problem. Burnout resonator. Just get that, so it's going to take a while to build up. See what happens with a negative here, though we might just get the neutral. Nina leads you on a winding tour of the block, chatting to the neighbors and collecting snacks. For a while, you forget about everything else. So we got some energy for that. I'm assuming negative will eat our energy. Negative. Nina's crying when Lem leaves and refuses to talk to you. The hours crawl by and you're desperate to get out when Lem finally returns. It's just going there. So we'll just work on burning our low die here, I think. And we'll risk it here. Neutral. Plus monies. Sorry, progress is a daily grind, but every well brings the side of the horizon closer to completion. The sense of scale can be exhausting. We are getting closer to being hunted. I'm not sure if it's that hunter thing or something else. Let's see. What did you need? A 2.
don't we do this one to start with? Given we're so close to being hunted, I think it's a good idea to do this, because if I recall right... Oh, we get this one first. Because we did fill up the hunter track here. A glimmer in the dark catches your eyes. As an orb at the hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Let's try hiding. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Their glimmer catches your eye, closer now, revolving or reached in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you, an unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You're caught by whipping tentacles and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, you already gliding away back to your anchor in your body. You wait from a dizzy, just oriented but safe. That was fine. I believe if we turn in one more of these, we'll unlock this. So we might be able to stop the hunting thing. Which is probably a good idea, I think. Leave and come back. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. Banks the servers and machines blink out of the dark in Stratos rhythms, not seeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind the stack, followed by the hammer of this medication. These snaky shitheads! Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops up from behind the stack. Just emulated consciousness, I'm really eager to see. Come back here. You pick up your way through the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on those bundles of cables or like the dark floor. Fang is sat upon a set of monitors, monitor stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at the monitor's side, glowing with a piled list of information. As you lean closer, looking at the links to the data, the tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers, institutional records. Shitheads? Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheims? Havenedge? I've been collecting Solheim data, so... Bingo! He taps his terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in, all the employees and Eye's original owners, and... He leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one! This is a sneaky shithead. He stabs the screen with his finger. Name reads, Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, Fang says, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags the stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. It just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenedge. He waits for your reaction. In Havenedge? And that's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back his shirt. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on the station as a... Fang leans against and looks at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrow at you. Hardin was keeping the money coming in from Solheim. He defined proprietary growth initiatives by making sure the executors they contracted out were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of rushed workers into an infrastructure, which meant that their cost of the work they did went straight back to Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Fang turns his back to the screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked in Solheim ships, they braided Solheim hair, and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminals. And the work that they paid for their existence, the cycle's hard extraction out the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak. My parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing the Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all of this, did the slums, and then somehow thousands and thousands of cycles later is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how?
These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money. There's a lot money can get you if you're the company man. Fang reacts as though, how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're gonna find out. Hardin's now a big shot in the shipyards and just a few degrees back around in the eye from here. Fang brings up a map with the lower eye. Revenge might be born out of Erland's revolutionary era, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to flip to the top. Fang zooms in on the shipyards, or far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in the stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of the Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail to dive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in, called a Ripper one. He turns the drive away from it. It'll rip through any digital storage and just spin out a silken thread of encrypted data. This one's a set of sent to the Hardin dust. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky, Fang puts his hand on. You, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Harvard cipher from a Harvard agent, and sometimes carry them on their data caches, and crack open the compound's network and slot the worm through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake, not enough. Find the information, I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fang scratches that shit. Anything the worm gets, I'll send back here to me. Something wrong here, and I'll aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through the data, among the wires and machines in the old system. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the new surrogate systems, looking for a new life. Hope for a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you're immediately familiar with. Think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place. I wonder if the past is ever truly past. Well, can't do anything about that. So... guess we can go eat. Yes, something bad is going on in the background. I should be able to use the scrap components here, but don't see it. So, while it's a bit early, it does feel like if we don't buy stabilizers soon, we are going to go down to 3 dice. That's maybe alright. These dice are worth, what, 15 each or whatever? So, losing one, having it for a bit is 45, getting this back is 45, have it for just a little bit. Yeah, let's just get the vial for now. Plus, it will get that quest out of the way. Usher takes the chits and hands you a vial. You ask after Sabine, Or you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. Passkey for apartment found wrapped around a stabilizer valve. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Tashiro's gear, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip and a handle. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ordinary pattern of holes. You can make out the word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key from somewhere? Inspect the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted. You can see a set of numbers imprinted on it. 207-F. Then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then you quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Tashiro passing on a message? Time to head into the low end and find out. Well, luckily we have access down here already. Tutorial. Characters and upgrades. You have completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. So, we have one upgrade point. I think this one costs 2. So we already have the efficient extractor. So if we got another upgrade point, we could do the self-repair. I understand how to read this now. We could get rid of our negative on engage, it looks like. So that way babysitting and a few other things wouldn't be as bad. Could also just understand what the potential negatives are. Could also stop eating and just sunbathe at home. We're not interfacing a ton anymore. I think we might just be boring and get rid of the -1. A number of our actions are being this. Unlock apartment. You find the entrance to the apartment is a passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the very detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures gaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, distant in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Inspect surfaces, go to the doorway. Let's inspect the surfaces. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, then to the cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. Go to the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash dispensers, water closet, towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room, lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Inspect the room, approach the terminal. We will inspect first. The bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rolls of vials and containers. The briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rolls of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, and controlled. Approach the terminal. As you approach, there's a cackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper! Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises, static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare show my face. Something's happening with Yatagan. I no longer trust them. The voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate, and then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves passes over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need insurance. Something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. I know sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something I can use against Yatagan. Then I get you out, and you get me. Then I can get out and get you what you need. Please! Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts in static, filling the room with its white hiss and silence. Let's try to access it. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left the access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but there are too many missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. Glance at the briefcase on the lab desk. Its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. We're gonna be hunted tomorrow, and we are broke. So I guess we just continue working and getting money. Camaraderie, care, focus, progress, shifts like this give you energy, especially when you look back at the sidereal horizon, growing impossibly. We are given more energy. Progress is a daily grind, but every wheel brings the sidereal horizon closer to completion. The sense of scale is exhausting. We'll inject ourselves. Get our condition all the way up so we have all our dye tomorrow. And see how that goes. Well, we don't have hunted here anymore. Probably because we're about to be hunted. Hold it there, sleeper. Comes a voice from behind her. Don't you run. Let's stay still. Good, good. And pat your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and slick jacket, and you immediately know he's terrible news. You got all the way out here, and stayed put. He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. Barely hear him. He knows the handgun he has leveled at your chest. It's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out of his belt loop, not taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though. That's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. Oh, most of my contacts out of asteroid caves are off some godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through it. Who are you? Just a freelancer on contract. Reaches over his side and rings around your wrists. Go easy. It's probably time to make a break for it. Otherwise, I think we're being drug in. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the ring. You spin, knocking him away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hose smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is all a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over you, trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship at home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor. Your hands behind you, your mind racing. Let's try to work it out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of your assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to Esnarp right away. The tracker of yours makes it this too quick. I was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know. Run a battle for the Bright Market maybe, or hold out the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I was around, Walk on in silence a bit longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. The SNR tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. I went on the way back to the ship. We stopped for a drink. I'm buying. He laughs at his own jokes. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me. I'm pretty tired of that. Hello? Muses Ethan. Got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we're heading for the exit. Pauses as you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we'll make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns to you, Basil. You run or leave, you try to bend the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scream, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles, you come meet me in an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab? He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, sounds like to me a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was gonna have to kill you, but this is so much better. He puts stuff in his belt and the rings release from your wrist. Go see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so I don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides down the corridors, slipping his handgun away. Makes a relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you gonna do? Alright. So we are now being blackmailed. But we have a route to eventually get rid of the tracker, and a route, if we finish the ship, to fly away. So not the worst blackmail situation. We can check out the club, I suppose. Seems like the bill's going to be big, but we have 4 cycles at the very least. This or no? not. Just gotta beat that clock. Let's see. All the Heaven Gate agents have this. So I'm here to work on getting a cipher from them. And need to work on continuing to build the ship and make money. Been promoted to the assembly team working on hull self, building the fabricated blocks, and the ship is in place. A vast job. More camaraderie and more camaraderie. Bunch of scrap should let us get decently up to Trusted Trader. If not all the way there. Gonna need a lot of money here. Exchange always hungry. We get more than 12 now per. Nope, still just 12. Not sure what Trusted Trader did. Oh, this opened up. But we have the money to pay off the debt here. Maybe that resets that. A few payments to the salvagers will keep them off the back for now. We'll hold off a little bit longer for that. We'll just call it good for now. Lots of things going on. Need to eat. Have a 1, so we'll waste that on babysitting. We're just gonna rush right through right now and just continue to build this. We need some more 2s in order to be able to get the information to work on the tracker. Just gonna balance this, get the ship close, babysit some, earn more money, pay off debt. That all sounds good. There's a 2. Where's that Hyperion, or whatever they're called, agent? Getting Borderlands mixed in now. Haven Edge agent. Actually get the cipher. Did. Haven Edge cipher. This gate keeps traffic out of the Haven Edge shipyard's internal network. Correct cipher can grant you access. The gate flips. You are in. Insert riverworm. Open port sits on you. Slot riverworm. What will you find in here? Worm slots in and begins tunneling around a thread. Godspeed, little one. Alright, looks like it'll take a few cycles for that. A little bit more babysitting. So I'm curious what a positive reaction here does. At the end of the day, Mina curls up in your lap as you read a story. She's asleep when Lem gets back, the two of you eat together. Gives me full energy, and they are all set. She's asleep, whispers M, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. Perched at a thin bar at the main room, the slate in front of you glowing, Mina drawings, cycles put together. There's a ring, the only word Mina has known, the stick figure standing along its edge, the tall one is you. Drink? Asks Lem, producing a warm-looking bottle of girl from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. Sure. Lem nods and glubs a few fingers in a couple of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and the metal containers together. You know, I actually had something to celebrate this time around. Lem gives you a sideways look. We made the assembly team on the side rail, he grins broadly. Clearly he's been desperate to tell you all cycle. Amazing. Lem holds up his ring. Couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little me here. Lem's just a little on his stool, looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen her much these past cycles. Let's just go with doing great. Of course she is. He playfully squeezes your shoulder. She talks about you a lot, you know. Draws you. I'm glad she has a friend that isn't me. His eyes jerk from the bedroom door. You okay? He nods. I can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes in the middle distance. Pulled her off a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, so I've been on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the eye in these old decrepit shuttles. Sloshes his drink around in the tumbler. I had no idea what they were doing. One Mina was on was decompressed halfway here. Everyone spaced. Only reason she made it is someone sealed her in a weapons locker. It was ice cold when I reached her. Purple lips. He shivers. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me, still clinging to her. Takes a drink. Still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's hero, you understand. We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims at the collapse. Once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us jumped here. Saved her. I'm gonna sound like an idiot now, but, he sighs, she saved me. That's the truth of it. He looks around at the decaying unit, stained plastic plating fingering knife. Me, I brought her into this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost. I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? Sidereal will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You'll make it, she'll manage, stay silent. You'll make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. Looks at his cup and pushes it away down the bar. It's a celebration, right? Both of us on a team now. Both of us with a chance. Together! That's right. We hold on together. Imagine all three of us riding the sidereal horizon out of here to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. Lem stands and starts to clear the glass into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. See you around. Alright then, catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it, from the both of us. Pat your shoulder, and as you slipped into the dark walkway with your thoughts of little meaning in your mind. Drive complete. Upgrade point. Why don't we hold on to that and save up for the self-repair? Since we get scrap, it might be good to be able to use it. So, you know, keep us stable. Let's see, this debt is coming. We'll pay it off tomorrow. We also have our debt coming, which hopefully isn't too high. Don't want to do this one again. Don't know if that triggers that going off right away, so I guess we'll go play in here. Nope. Just negotiating this. Hit the wrong thing. Oh well, we negotiated successfully. We are doing this now, apparently. There's no sign of the salvagers as you arrive at the shipyard. You breathe a sigh of relief as you slip through the entrance. You doubt this is the last you see of them. After the past few cycles, you are glad to finally have some breathing room. You revive into a buzz of activity. Red blinking lights flash across the back's dark shape, suspended below the drone. They flicker across the scorched hull plates and front structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The clutter is huge and have been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago scans to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it's lowered in the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now looking at this, the ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm with Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think just what's became the crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. We managed to convince our salvager friends to give me it on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to Grip? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches its base of the yard. Provis is busy decided. I know, I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrive in similar fashion. Looks inside the container, you correct the arc freighter lowered in the yard, the corpse ready to be butchered. Was the container delivered both Dragos on its own? Room for your rebirth in a strange situation. You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about the ship, you might be able to trace its path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After those past cycles, I think you're up to it. What do you think? See the fading name of the ship in the bezel blazoned on the side. Winterlight. Let's do it. Slaps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make it start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats perhaps to himself. Take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. So we can go through the ship now and try to investigate the winter light stuff. Or just salvage in general. But we're out of die for the day regardless. Oh, we have 2 upgrade points already. So we will get the scrap components to repair condition. That will save us some money, probably. Let's see, how much condition does this repair? Oh, just 1. Vial restores all of it. Scrap we're going to sell for 12. They are worth, what, 8 or so? But I am restoring about 8 or so. So yeah, we can just use scrap to keep ourselves up. If I'd used it last night, we would have kept the die. So it's about the same rate as the using the vials right now. I don't know if we can buy more vials. Yeah, we still can. Okay. We haven't lost access to that. Our debt is coming up. We'll just work in here for now. Shipbreaking is tougher than slicing up blue salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you fixed wage if you're up to it. Our clearance, 16, and more scrap. This is safe enough. Work hard your way to ships. Smashers separating and cutting piece by piece. The ship starts to come apart. Investigating the winter light. Negative. Plus yard clearance. And investigating. It's possible to understand everything with things. Dragos gives you a disappointed look. Getting more yard clearance. Not 100% sure what that'll do, but that's fine. Got 2 more scrap, so we will just burn these and try to keep our condition up. And we will end the cycle. I believe we have our first debt today. Let's see how bad our tab is. Oh, 58's not that bad. I have 2 cycles to pay the tab. Oh, we got it now. Can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from behind the bar. We look over to see him leaning across at the pool of light, empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle, the place is packed. A load of spacers mixing with locusts. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass in the bar, or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. Yeah, just walk away. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to the rest, the butt of his handgun dangling from the chest. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? You think someone in your position might have a better idea how this all works? I'm a freelancer, Sleeper. Just like you, we both signed a contract with SMR, didn't we? Difference is that my word means something. Closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You just run away from your contract, your debt? Think you just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or 2? Let's go with you don't understand. It's you, Sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us play our debts. It's like all the harder because idiots like you. I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy. Giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. I knew catching sad little escapees of you was so easy. I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds his finger in general direction while turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Let's just stay silent this time. Let's not edge the guy with a bunch of drinks in him and a gun. Just shoot us. Nothing to add? Ethan turns and walks back towards the bar. Good. Lesson learned. Ethan sits heavily back down at school and searches through his glasses for one with something in it. Thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. My body isn't yours. It will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and draws the contents. So please go. I'll catch up you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look after yourself. Give it up, sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his eyes on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. Turn on your heel and head out the glowing dark and sweet-scented compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving you the footholds into the metal of rim like hammers. So yeah, got 4 more and got another upgrade point. Chance to gain cryon interface. Can photosynthesize with dice to gain energy at home. Dice actions display the potential positive and negatives. Chance to gain energy after any engage action. Getting energy at home doesn't sound bad, but we're doing alright with just eating. Why don't we take some of the mystery out? Learn what our dice truly do. So we'll gain more yard clearance with that, and some money. So we will start with that. 1 yard clearance, 1 cryo. Do that again and see what happens when we fill up the yard clearance. Final pieces of the Wither Light sit in neat piles waiting for the collection shuttle for Heavenage. Dragos managed to sell the remaining pieces to the shipyards. A fact that's hard to forget as he's been telling you about it for the past 2 cycles. And all that remains is for Heavenage to come collect. Look around at the yard, transformed from you when you arrived. Most repaired drones sit back and forth, no longer buzzing unevenly or lost in the dark corners. The scrapped sections sorted and system you see Dragos put in place over the past cycles paying off. As you look and notice the glow of pale light from the office by the entrance, that rundown cab of the building which houses all the records and spare equipment, Dragos must be inside, and you get to your feet and walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be here. We knock. Leaper, come in. You swing open the door and walk in, Dragos sitting in the small metal desk. The shipyards told me they'd be here soon. When they hand over the chits, we're all set. He writes something off the stylus on the slate and shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about a bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job's coming in, but it should tide you over for now. He opens his hand and reveals a stack of chits. What's going on here? Said it's a bonus. Take it. Dragos presses chits into your hands. I've done well by you, and you return the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. You realize that has prepared what he's about to say. These chits are for you to take and to do what you will with them. They're for me, and they're the last I'm going to give you. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arm. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard's done with you. He turns away from his sermon. But I need work. There's plenty of work to be had in the eye. Salvagers and offloads of the Rotunda. There's the shipyards, the midline. I'm not the only show in town. Past the apertures of Dragos, heads up, train on mission. You need to stay away, sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble's gonna follow you here. Trust me. Yep, this seems like the end of the Dragos storyline. Dragos kicks at the floor, frustrated with himself. I'll not be staying anymore, sleeper. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office in the yard. Turns your face, stack of papers from the winter light, dissected, cut down, totally augmented as well as ship. You came through that, sleeper. That should have been you, chopped and sacked. Hands tremble on your shoulder. This is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down. I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. Kill you? Kill both of us! Shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get to decommissioned. They didn't break down in a dry dock. You think they'd look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, sleeper. And
and I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. Turns and walks back to the office. That's it! He shouts and goes inside. Silent hangs in the air and you leave, your pockets filled with chits and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. Drive failed. Minus drive. Alright, so I know what happens from there. I'm worried about what happens here if I do the last one of these, because I don't have the tracker done. Need this tracker to go one more cycle. So there's potential work here. Gotta fix this. Got the 6, and it's 100% positive. So we will just do this. And we got this figured out. We have the seal dock, the overlook bar. That's just the one thing. So let's look at the overlook bar. So we buy rations from here instead, or a drink. And the sealed dock. These old maglites look like they need an encrypted key to open. Why the heavy security protecting lock? Well, we got some encrypted keys. Good to have a use for them. Let's see what happens when we open the bag lock. Neovend, mysterious machine. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusting plates, the machine flickers with a warm glow. You gotta check out the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape. It's holding in a clove inside the dock, a kind of upright cabinet. It is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once the industrial vendor intended to dispose and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of the freight and resources of extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which cheerfully saying that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking one of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employees to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirling. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, and a multi-tonal voice that emulates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There's a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes up again. You see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine's resting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirling, whining noise. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty door. Ooh, more Hunter stuff. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter? The Hunter Protocol. They taste your signature. They sit and whine your teeth on the edge. You've seen them. Oh. Sit and whine your teeth on the edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of emulated bind. Close your eyes and the skeleton station starts to drum. Emulated binds are adaptable. Move where neutrons can't. The mechanism resets. But emulation makes you a target. Adaptable? Yes. You can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software. Neovend whines. You cannot hide there. Hunter is there. Servers judder at the vending machines causing this to reset. Hunter searches for me, also. Hide in this machine. You look at the rune vending machine, an unusual hiding place. Yes, the Hunter plotline is interesting. I'm curious where it will all go. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. Light figures. Need you.
The screen attached from the vending machine with the swiveling arm comes alive. It displays a flickering map of the station, closely threaded. The cloud points along the rim glowing deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nest, explains Neoed. Masters are gone, but continues hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. Masters? Station builders. Solheim. The machine remos initially. Long gone. The protocols still hunt. Bring offerings. Save self, Neovan sends pointedly. Mutual needs means friends, they conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirling amplifies and suddenly drops. Its mechanism within the machine clack back into place. The glow fades and you're left with stood in the dark in the seated dock. That whirling voice ringing in your ears. Alright, so we need Hunter's protocols as well. I mean, we have new things to look into here. Hunter's nest. Need a 1. Hunter's nest. Need a 2. And Hunter's nest. Need a 2. So I need 1s and 2s. They've got to match exactly. There's a mercenary over here. Hey, you! Wanna earn a chit? Akita stands behind a huge pile of tired together hullbaits. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her freaks. Sure. Across the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she lashes to the massive place guard. Everyone wants to cut. She straightens up into imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks up at you up and down. Don't try anything, all right? Taps the butt of her sidearm. You don't want to have to try to put anyone else down today. Anyone else? She shrugs. What can I say? My temper's a little short today. Akita hoists 1 bundle of plating under her shoulder. Come on, then. Enough chat. You gotta earn that chit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do so eventually. Akita gives you a look. Ship's this way. She then sets you down at gauntly impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of steam doors. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the steam doors. I've paid heavens enough. They're currently rinsing me for mourning, and I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris, or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris? Is that your shift? You catch on fast. She gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns to the corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty back on the last job. Hit more up for spell. Since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone's got in and sliced up the core of the ship mine, so now she's gone all dark. She sifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short 1 ship mine with a ton of repairs to do. The rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd be stranded, so yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours? For a moment, you aren't sure if she's serious. Mahia swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is for me. Or this is me. She hauls the 2nd bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I met who actually might be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type who tries anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plate through the ambergris's outer lock and then turns it back. Just don't go spreading this around. Akita throws you a couple shits. Consider it a bonus for trying not to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here. She calls back and the lock she slams shut. Might as well work on these. Akita needs all the help she can get with the ambergris. Pockmarked with damage, the hull's a good place to start. Akita's help me systematically isolate, remove, repair, and reseal the hull of pirates. Amber looks better and better by the hour. Akita's help me systematically isolate, blah blah blah. We're halfway there. Oh, I almost forgot to eat. Oh, no scrap. So we'll just end the cycle. Yay! We rolled pretty poorly this time. Go do this before I forget. I recognize some data tangled into the nest. Is this a partial log of recent movements? I guess that's fair, wishing there was more in these environments. I have a feeling there's still plenty more to go find in a lot of these environments. Hunter data located. Number 2. I need 3 total, so I need another 1. Taking out some algorithm, recursively generating possible Solheim communication codes. This is only 2 of 3, right? Yes, need 3 of them. New event believes that hunters compulsively gather data might hold key escaping his tenacious search. Get those in. Deal with this. As you revive, Ben comes striding towards you, taking you back. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns back to where you came. Go where? To see Howden Host. He gives you a sideways guy. Is that what you're here for? He steps down the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we got something of an opportunity. The data you ripped? Well done, by the way. He grins. Tells me Hardin's making a rare inspection of the Cedarin horizon this cycle. It's a perfect chance to confront him outside the compound he hides in. Then he takes a sharp turn in the dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right, it's the perfect time. Bank slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, in the black, a water pipe dangles. It's him, Sleeper. The same Hardenhurst. A worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name. Entire trail of documentation from the first days that Solheim collapsed until now. He rode out the whole thing, slipped into Havegen, where he first broke off from the Union. He paces a tunnel, hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse. It wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here, running the station one day, and the next, Erland's Union took power. then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As Palin Market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. Pay got smaller, the cost higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep berth on the station, and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. As new waves of contractors came in desperate for work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot license. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases and central systems, while the severed limb of the station could desperately try to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with Caljum, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. The parents told me people were terrified, and blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlen, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, and turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. My mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their mirror and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Hart. Fang finally turns around back to you now, his eyes burning. Them shits like Hardin. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly, you don't know much about the executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Fang rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Below the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction, the flanks lit by flashes of plasma torches, entrance to the shipyards ahead. Yep, Solheim is definitely not good. This is crazy, but... Fang turns and looks at you. Don't come, then. I won't force you. Stand across each other from the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? Fine. I'm coming. You're my only way to escape as far as I know, so... Fang grims. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides, shipyard entrance, and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex. Snatches of construction, bays always appearing through the windows. Ships are suspended like a whale corpse's skeletal posing. Fang seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock, locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cleave to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space, so that welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly and gauntly to the front. Two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other, stuck thin, completely dressed with a shot of gray hair. Pardon. You and Fang say the name in unison, and Fang sends up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is pushing closer. Foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hulse! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces, comes back, ripping after him. The figures turn. Yes? Hardin's asked quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Fag. You see his gaze lingering on your body, not sure why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin. Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadows of, against everything Erlen stood for, everything Heaven Edge stands for. You have no place in the station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you, too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, others are nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fang turns the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. Foreman glances between Fang and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans forward towards him and says something inaudible. Foreman nods. Oh, we'll back up Fang, even though corporations usually just buy off everyone. It's true. As you begin to speak, Hardin turns to attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent? What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of SNR. You have no place in a heaven Shepard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You've guessed right. I am Systems. I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I'm asking you to take this man into custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at the members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, which is my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on the walkways coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, submit the data through the correct channels, and then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy side and black sidearms at their sides. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead! You can't wriggle out of this one. The security officer draws their weapons and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. We should probably calm down at this point. You look at Fang. He shakes his head and puts his hand on his shoulder. Let's go, says Fang as he pushes his way through security, heading back down the hallway. When security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up space. Try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is greeting ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly as you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate of web connections starts drawing itself out, stretching on stars points around the ring. Got him, mutters Fang. What's going on? Hardin's doing what any snaky shithead always does, calling his friends. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin looks ghostly in his lit up lighted screen. The old ways are the best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies, ones he's messaging right now. And we're gonna find them all. Let's just go with that was on purpose. Of course! Hardin isn't working alone. We need to find the full setup or nothing. Fang glances around and he slips the slate back in the bot. We'll go split for now, Sleeper. This is exactly what we need. Good hunting. Pat on his shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard edges. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. I think we can grab any of these ones. So we'll gain some energy after ones. Looks like it's 4 more cycles before we can do anything with that plot line. What did we need with this one? Yadigan. We have a Yadigan agent here, which also needs a 1. Probably want to deal with these 2. We have a Hunter bar here, though. If we do 2 more things in here, we'll get Hunter again. probably continue working on this to unlock more, because we don't have any good places to work. We got money for now, but... Duel with sharp-eyed teenager, blocking each other. Careful moves, you win, the cloud chatters, clearly impressed. As you shift your caps along the board, you hear laughter, child explains what you're doing the wrong way, you lose your round, and you're viral. We'll eat properly. Go rest for the day. Oh, we got the tube. So we'll start with this. From what you can gather, this nest contains thousands of name strings. These Erland's Eye residents? Bypass. Extract. We shall turn in the last one of these. Neovend. Neovend is thrumming with excitement. The movement of servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth on settling angles. You wonder if it fell over. Would Neovend be able to get back up? So, my overall impression so far is I'm enjoying the game, but it's not grabbing me quite as much as Teenage Exocolonist did. I'm liking the game, but Exocolonist resonated with me quite well. That being said, I'm feeling like we're going to be done with this one faster as well. So, I don't feel like this one's going to overstay its welcome. Well, not that Exocolonist did, but I also feel like we're just going to have a good little stroll with this game, and it'll be a good little time. I believe this one retailed for 15 instead of 25, so... And this one was made by one person, if I recall right. Like, I think they licensed an artist, but all the story and everything, I think, was done by one person, if I'm recalling correctly. So, for a game made by a single person and everything designed, it's well done. I do love Rhythm Doctor too. Like, I'm enjoying it enough that I will likely pick up Citizen Sleeper 2 at some point, and will potentially go through and try out some other stuff. But definitely between the two that I've been doing, Exocolonist is my bigger recommendation between the two. But I am also just a sucker for, like, the growing a character type games that Exocolonist is. It's not quite the dating sim, though there is the dating stuff in it. But I've always enjoyed the kind of build up your own character to unlock different paths and stuff in games. I'm always just a sucker for those types of games. So while I'm enjoying the story and everything that's going on with this game, I'm lacking the skills to build up with that to truly draw me into building up my character. So the narrative's solid in this one. There's plenty going on. There's plenty to do. But not quite loving it as much as Exocolonist, but definitely enjoying this. Neovend flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into sludge and artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligence. Solheim needed protected property. The last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. The station was run by Administrator Intelligence. Huge databanks of corporate material, with limited contagion restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience. The machine drums a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Aren't you sentient? I am. Not administrated. Not restricted. Complicated. Machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. There, killer. Part of Solheim Protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find. Killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was community. Shattered intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then killer. Then we hid. How do you escape? Flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that it's speaking like this through its machine. It must be exhausted from the event. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline, airwalled, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self. But survived. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You have provided path to freedom. You look around the bay at the scrap decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. The event abruptly off. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. Machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on itself. The problem will solve self. It will erase itself? Killer will erase it. But yes, in theory it will report itself for deletion. The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. But the machine brings again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long a machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mine destined to house intelligence. Imprint itself within ship mine and carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation. Then we can find the main nest of Hunter, linked to Cloud. Where can I get a ship mine? Build from fragments. Buy, salvage. We cannot leave, so do not know. You try to think of places you acquire in hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In ship mine, I can help us both. And Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both will be free. The machine dims. Find soon. The event adds, hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligence shackled by the collapse, and hunted down afterwards. This feeling is all too familiar. So I can know where to do this. I just don't know where to get. Ship mine fragments. Unless they are from the ship. Continue working on getting her ship up to ship shape. We'll risk it to get it done today. Akita is crouched with the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine that ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws a bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs! Can we repair it? There's nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mine. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap fighter. Besides, fragments maybe, sections of mine, but complete ship mine? No way. Akita climbs out the cooling where the ship mine should be. Space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you. Towering over you as she stoops beneath the low her. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of the amber, though you can find a way back yourself. The repair process lets you familiar with the critter's anti-synthetic layout, all diagonal angles, bundled tubes. What do we do now? Akita seems lost in thought. You focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive at the galley, but it's hard to tell. Most of the benches or prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Kita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mine. Where from? Scrap fighter or an exchange? Hell, find one from in the Overlook bathroom. Doesn't matter where, just matters we get one. She rubs her forehead. Seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why didn't I make a run for it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you're all I got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put in. Amber and I'm sure... put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare count them. Give me this ship mine, Sleeper, and don't make me regret this. You won't. She sighs. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to calm her. Time to find Akita and ship mine out somehow. Now I need 2 of them. And I don't know how to get the first one. Oh, I'm out of die. Okay. It's 4:30, so we'll risk a hunter encounter. We died a hunter, we died a hunter. But we can also continue the doctor's quest. Some gang enforcer implants are chirping out comm signals. Time to see what they're talking about. And that's fair. Yeah, Exocolonist was a little bit smaller scale. This has a clear branching narrative going on. I feel like Exocolonist probably was designed to be replayed a lot more. I'm not sure how much this one was designed to be played again and again. There's some going on, but I definitely don't feel like there's designed to be a ton of different endings to this. Those familiar threads wrapped around you, bind you, test you. Entity, submit. Hunter's strange head bobs your vision. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globbed head, you see whirling strings of data. Somebody's spinning there that they threaten to tear through this thin skin and whip out the void around. What happened to this creature? Threads squeeze, and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike! You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with this Hunter once for all. This is getting too dangerous. Okay. Our condition got a lot worse, but we didn't die yet. But we do need to get some stabilizer now. And some food. Okay, got what I needed from here. Yes. Oh, I need 3 of them. That's one. I got 2 low numbers yet. So, is there 2 more out-of-gang agents? There's one of them. Some gang enforcer implants are chirping out comm signals. Let's grab that.
looks like we might have to buy some more area, so there goes our money. As you step into the passage, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. As you turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear, she steadies herself, staring you down as if daring to respond. She adjusts the strap on her shoulder, barely giving you a second look before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. The second spacer smiles at you, apologizing. She's on a mission, and she's on a mission. They shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek. Ash stands further down the corridor, glowing at her friend. She chops the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever she's rushing to. Peek raises her eyebrow here. Ash, please, do you want everyone in the station to hate us? Ash hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her head. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got down through before they set up the damn cord. He gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. The station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. He sighs. I'm not saying they're part of the administration. She jerks her head in the direction. I'm saying we need to get those supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. Can I help? Peek smiles slyly. See, Ash, help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Peek. Ash rolls her eyes. Peek ignores her. We are with the refugees, the one that has cordoned off when they're entering station. Ash interrupts. Ones that are being quarantined in the makeshift vessels that barely made it in the Ash premiums with. Ones that your station administrators have called in special risks are running out of supplies while right in safety and being viewed by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away at her own outburst. Big sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there in Churdish. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up in Saiho. Hold a hand out a hand to stop Ish from interrupting. But as she turns away, her burning anger a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. Peek finishes. That's terrible. Ish looks back at you. Her fierceness is fading. Peek, please. Ish gathers herself and the supplies. Ish, we need help. Just like the refugees need us. We need others too. They smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us. The climbing briar is docked. The broken spoke past the greenway in the waste. We have a good view of the cordon, and we're keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Ash turns to leave and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Ash shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want to help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. With that, they disappear around the corner. Ash already picking up speed as Peek calls for her to slow down. Rushy Flotia? Where are they coming from and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand something in the place, something changes. So this apparently is an entirely episodic update to Citizen Sleeper that was added. So I probably don't want to be messing with this right now, but it looks like it's an entirely extra thing to be able to do. Yep, it had a decent number of updates. A lot of indie games end up getting free updates and stuff like that. This does end up being still missing the gun person. But on the quick read there, it said it all is out. So it sounds like that's something else to do. Now we're trying to locate the last thing. Oh, maybe this will help. Don't think I've been to the tea house. No, but nothing will work here. Risk some money and try to continue working on this. Nope. Gonna have to risk the one ship soon. Running out of money. The compressor's quiet today, the usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool, at the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. Approach him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper. Turns you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take the chips. Bartender ignores Ethan, and it seems they've cut him off. Hey! He slams his hand in the bar. Come take the chits. Bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with the palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out, chatters in the bar, falls to the floor, bouncing the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, pulls out a hand, beckoning for you to give them the gun back if you would. The bartender looks at you wirily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Point the gun at Ethan, and Ethan the gun. Well, I got no clue what would happen if we attempt to kill Ethan, and he probably has a second gun. And right now, just paying him money is perfectly fine, so we will just hand him the gun back. Slap the handle of the gun back into Ethan's hand. Thank you, he hisses. Now where was I? He leisurely sweeps his gun past the bartender. Yes, leaving, he stands. Sleeper, well, it's been fun. I think I've run every last drop out of this place. Time to go home. He waggles the gun towards the door. Let's go see us some out. No. He brings the gun to hand and face and rubs his eye. Well, the bounty pays half, but levels his gun. Up to you. And he pulls the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 tiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Ethan smiles at him. "Oh well," he says, and hits you in the head with the butt of the gun. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters surface. It hits a glancing blow, but makes your vision swim. In the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate on his belt and hold it up. "Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in." Ethan taps the slate. "No more playing." Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few schemes impatiently. He swears and taps again, and starts shouting a dull echo in your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. "Ethan Arb just screwed me," he grins manically. "They canceled the contract." He stands up. "They canceled the contract!" He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the face hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded in a magazine. When you shake off the last blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards him, in the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill you all!" he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. "I'll be back for that!" He shouts at the bartender, lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of a conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Ethan's vendetta. Ethan may be disarmed, but you've seen the last of him. No, apparently I'm not wanted anymore. So that's one payment thing I don't have to worry about anymore. These are new. I need scrap to repair that. And at this place... Oh. I can use a dye to feed myself. Mingi has help stack in the basement, and he makes noodles from seaweed. He doesn't pay much, but he'll fill anyone that does a shift. Sure. I'll save a little money. You extrude batch after batch of noodles, swirling them into tangled nets. Mingi slips you a few extra chits with your portion. There's a Yatagan agent. I rolled too well, though. At least there's some more now. Oh. Do this. Officer eyes you suspiciously as you download the data terminal. This is more than she was expecting. We shall finish this off. Alright. Lower end's fully done, and we get to play with a caster, the Curious Data Fence. You cross between two walls of units, one the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressuring bridge is full of clactravia and shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man sitting at the tableau table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool opposite side of the table. Sit.
sit at the metal stool and he starts setting down the board with counters, at least filtered lower cracks. Launders typically use their place. Caster, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? Yes, gesturing the caps, crudely sprayed in white and black. Day? He rotates the board so that the white caps are in front of you. Let's begin. Take a plastic die each, pitted and worn. You roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6, you roll a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not moving the caps. It is unusual to see Sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. Carefully or aggressively? Let's just be careful. After all, a Sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks to you, build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend you, Caster meets your eye. I merely see that you're, by definition, different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He slides a single cap onto your open point, a risk of opportunity. Hands you dice. Do you ever think about this, Sleeper? What about how you were before you're now? Always. You roll a double 1 and solidify your wall, Caster whistles. Holding game. Commendable. It can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls the dice and leaps your wall in a single move. But we cannot idle too long, Sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. Past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living and breathing person. He looks over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like shadows splitting up from the Caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will wake and carry on with their lives, unaware from your fate, no matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. Roll again under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from Casters before he solidifies control of the game. So, what I'm curious about is how you see yourself in all of this, Caster asks. What does this tangle of truths make you? Driven. Caster laughs. That much is obvious, Sleeper. I see it in your eyes. You are eager to make all of this count for something. Caster looks away through the glass of the crowded Unisol site. But driven towards what? He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Is there an end here, or just endurance? Try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game. The Caster clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I've made push too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Caster clasps his hands apologetically. You played well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with that last word. To our mutual benefit, he slides his final cap from his board. It's over, he has won. I'll see. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosities. The game is over, and you notice the bustle of the walkway once more. The call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments, the reconciliations wash over you as you stand and leave. Caster nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you sure was there. Look at this again. That's a lot of data, and that's a lot of data. I do have some of those. Well, I can still be tracked, but my bounty was canceled. So why don't we finish this? See what happens. Your crew slowly filters out the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves.
There's excitement in the air. Packaging just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the side rail out there. Its hulking mass now immediately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you've watched it grow, be assembled. You've watched through the veins and wielded its bones. Now it's ready for the final stage. It will go testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it's deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done, and you can't help but feel proud. A cough interrupts you. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. I know. It's exciting, although. You think about it, we're all out of a job now, he quickly adds. And not that I'm complaining. Lem comes sits beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you. Mina and me out of here. So, Captain. Lem smiles apologetically. Why not? I figure I'm due for a lucky turn now. He rubs his hand curiously. No use in wondering what if. Until the draw, anyway. There's a few cycles till then. Lem's right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many of us are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? Certainly seem more faces than you can count pass through. Are the CLS Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the side rail in a surrogate system? Do you think Lem watches you with a worried look? How's Mina doing? Lem is surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon, especially now that I won't be seeing you here either. Lem gazes in space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you can come too. Have you ever seen a thunderstorm sleeper? A real big one? I don't remember. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down, the whole sky stretched out, bruised, worn, huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, tailed rock in the Conway system had 2 seasons. One of them was dry as a bone, dusty, ugly. The other was a long storm, side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roads like bullets, and it washed the dust away. Turned the streets and the rivers, and I used to sleep and wake up in the morning. I used to wait a half year to see it again. Best day was the one where the first drops fell. Some days I wake up swearing I could hear it again. I was thinking, Mina's never seen a storm, never felt the rain. She's grown up here, the ring her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course, almost there. Lem stands stretching. Let's get back to the little one anyway. The shift's done. I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He shoulders his gear. See you few for the draw. I'll be there. Right on, he grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the governor's locker room. As you sit, you think about rain. A little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the cyber really take you to a planet, a place with weather, with skies, with life? You get up quickly. Before you can think about it anymore, it's too soon to hope. Too dangerous. There's still work to be done. So, the draw is in 6 cycles. Maybe more. But no, 3 cycles for the draw. 6 cycles for that to be moving. We got 1 cycle until this is going on. 1 cycle until this shows up. Just play with the spelk a little bit with Blast Die. In this case, looks like we lose a little energy. And I believe it saves whenever we do our little sleeping. I'm at the wrong spot for that. There we go.
Since it's 5, I think we will call it here. I don't feel like we're going to be ending the game real soon. We just finished the ship, and we're going to be picking up with things showing back up, some of the ships coming back up. So I feel like that will be a decent spot to pick back up next time. I got a feeling that we will finish this on the next stream. This one will not take nearly as long as Exocolonist, even if we do chase the extra stuff. Autosave 0 seconds. Yeah. I'm enjoying this one. Unlike Exocolonists, aren't sitting here going, oh god, I need to finish this one so I can restart it and try to do things differently. But I'm still enjoying this. I will just switch over to this for now. But I am looking forward to finishing, like, next week, continuing this, and then ideally finishing it up. I know this one's shorter. It should just take a total of 4 to 6 hours, though I don't know how long that episodic content will add. But I'm feeling good about being able to finish this one next week. And then we'll have to figure out what game to play after that. I have one in mind. But I can always change my mind. The one in mind I did start at one point, but I haven't finished. But I'd obviously be starting all over. I did mention I canceled my stream for tomorrow night and leaning towards making it bi-weekly just because I've been not balancing my work-life balance very well. I know I don't stream that much, but if you're over on my YouTube channel, you will know that I've been putting out a lot of videos there. And those videos take a decent amount of time to edit most of the time. And the last few weeks, I've not been doing a good job of work-life balance. That being said, I actually got my videos done this week that I needed to get done. I do have extra stuff to do, but there is a Velatro patch that is in beta that is interesting. So, I don't know. Hatter or Metal, you can Hatter on Discord or Metal here. You could probably bully me into streaming Velatro tomorrow if you wanted to. Totally your call. Beyond that, I'd probably just spend tomorrow night editing more videos, which would mean more videos for YouTube down the line. Beyond that, I don't actually have too much more to say. Like, be doing this again next week. I'm hopeful to line up another collab down the line. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, Tuna. Most likely collab coming up would be Content Warning, I think the name is the name of the game. But I don't know how that one's lining up. Right now, it looks like that would be closer to the end of the month. But it's possible it might happen sooner. I haven't seen if there's any messages on that front here. But yeah. Hope you all stay well. I really should come up with a proper way to end these streams besides saying, hope you had fun,
Hope you are all having a good day, and hope you have a good night, and hope you all stay in good health. Bye.